Hey everyone, welcome to a very special explainer. Today we're diving into something that is just incredibly close to the hearts of so many of us. We're talking about the raw, messy, and let's be honest, often totally overwhelming journey of being a mom entrepreneur. If you're out there trying to build a business while literally raising a family at the same time, you know exactly how heavy that dual identity can feel, right? Well, today we're exploring a deeply compassionate piece by Sam Farley. She's the founder of The Complete Business and The Growth Collective. And get this, Sam started building her own business when she was 7 months pregnant, with a toddler already running around. She's still building it today, right in the margins of motherhood and full-time work. So, consider this explainer a direct letter to you. It's all about validating that unique, sometimes chaotic way you are forced to build your dreams.
Let's just jump right in with a super raw admission, straight from Sam herself. She admits right out of the gate, I am writing this one from the inside, and not at all from a place where everything's going perfectly. I mean, how refreshing is that? She actually points out that she's in a crazy busy season right now, and nowhere near where she hoped to be by this point in the year. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. This isn't advice coming from some guru sitting on a pristine mountaintop of unreachable success preaching down at you. No, this is coming straight from the trenches. It's coming from someone who intimately understands your unpolished reality. It is absolute proof that, hey, you are not alone in the messy middle. And struggling? It absolutely doesn't mean you're failing.
So honestly, ask yourself right now, have you ever just wanted to burn it all down? Have you ever stared at your glowing laptop screen, surrounded by piles of laundry and a sea of stray toys, and genuinely wondered, am I actually cut out for this? Well, the source material highlights something huge. This feeling is completely 100% common. You might look around and think that wanting to throw in the towel means your business idea is fundamentally broken, or maybe you just don't have what it takes. But here is the reality check. Hitting that wall and wanting to quit, it is a completely normal stage of growth for moms building businesses. It's just a symptom of your circumstances, not a reflection of your actual capability.
Let's talk about what Sam calls the unpolished reality of trying to build an online income in the margins of motherhood. When we say the margins, we mean the cold hard fact that your life is already moving at lightning speed. You don't have, 8 uninterrupted hours sitting in some quiet, minimalist office to just strategize and execute. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? Instead, you are desperately trying to squeeze creativity, marketing, product development, and answering client emails into these tiny, microscopic slivers of space that are left over after absolutely everything else has demanded your attention.
Because think about your daily juggle. You're managing a home, you're changing diapers, you're operating on chronically disrupted sleep, which is a brutal hurdle all on its own. You're organizing play dates, doing the vacuuming. The list literally never ends. You are carrying the weight of all these constant, chaotic, and completely non-negotiable tasks. And when your baseline is just pure exhaustion, trying to make that mental pivot into CEO mode is, well, it's incredibly hard. Finding focus when you're being pulled in a dozen different directions is a monumental task in itself.
And because of this relentless juggle, despite your bone-deep exhaustion and all the hard work you're putting in, you probably still feel like you just aren't doing enough. When your time is that scattered, building a business rarely feels like success in the moment, does it? Mostly, it just feels like you aren't getting anywhere. You finally sit down to send one email and boom, someone spills juice all over the floor. You write half of an Instagram post and the baby wakes up early from their nap. Because you never actually get to experience the satisfaction of a clean, completed workday, your brain plays this nasty trick on you and says, hey, you aren't making any progress. But listen to me, that feeling is entirely a trick of your environment, not the reality of your business.
So we need to normalize this feeling of hitting a giant brick wall where everything just feels totally impossible. As Sam explains, most moms who are building businesses in the margins of family life inevitably slam into this exact same barrier. It is completely normal to want to quit your online business, period. When you are deep in the thick of it, the effort you're putting in feels incredibly unrewarded. It feels like you are just shouting into a dark void. And here's the kicker. When your effort feels invisible, that is exactly when the voice of doubt gets the absolute loudest.
It is absolutely vital to understand the contrast happening here between your effort and your doubt. Right now, your effort is largely invisible. It's kind of like planting seeds underground, The progress you're making in these scattered pockets of time is compounding quietly. You can't see those roots growing, but they are there, doing the work. Your doubt, on the other hand, that's like a loud, crashing thunderstorm screaming right in your face. The gap between your massive, exhausting effort and the actual tangible evidence of success can feel deeply discouraging. The real danger here is wanting to quit right before that quietly compounding effort finally breaks the surface and becomes undeniable visible evidence.
You see, you are building in what we call borrowed moments. We're talking about those 20 minutes during nap time, the single hour after the kids are finally asleep, or heck, even the 15 minutes you spend sitting in the carpool lane. And here is the absolute core truth that you need to remember. Borrowed moments, when you stack them consistently, are enough to change your life, period. These small, scattered pockets of time are exactly how life-changing futures are built. You don't need perfect, pristine hours, you just need consistent moments. Let this truth really serve as an anchor for you. A better future is worth every borrowed moment it takes to build it. Sam points out that we desperately need to hear this. You are doing wildly impressive work. You're doing it in the exact way that actually fits your crazy life right now, and it is vital that you do it this way. So remember this, your pace is absolutely not the problem. You're going to win simply because you keep putting one foot in front of the other, especially, and I mean especially, on those days when it doesn't feel like you're making any progress at all.
Okay, so how do we actually turn all of this into actionable advice? Well, we have to start separating pace from progress. When you feel totally unmotivated, it's almost always because you've fallen into the trap of feeling behind. And let's be real, feeling behind usually comes from comparing your messy, chaotic, behind-the-scenes reality to where you thought you'd be, or even worse, comparing it to someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel on social media. We have got to shift your lens away from that fiction and focus it back on your actual progress. That means reconnecting with your own reality, your own everyday wins, and your very own hard-earned evidence.
To help you make that mental shift from feeling like you're lacking to actually seeing the hard evidence of your progress, I want you to try this super powerful 3-step exercise. Step 1. Grab a piece of paper and write down exactly why you started this business in the first place. Get into those real, deep, core reasons driving you. Step 2. Right next to that, write down absolutely everything you have already built, learned, and figured out. Even the tiny things. Did you figure out how to set up an email list? Write it down. Step 3. Read both of those lists back to back.
You actually sit down and do that exercise, you are inevitably going to arrive at a pretty profound truth. Take a deep breath right now and just let this realization sink in. You've done more than you realize. You're closer than you think. It is so ridiculously easy to fixate on the massive mountain you still have to climb and completely ignore the miles and miles you've already walked. You are allowed, and honestly, you are heavily encouraged to be incredibly proud of how far you've come. Those small moments, they are adding up in ways you just can't fully see quite yet.
Now, one of the most vital takeaways from our explainer today is that you absolutely do not have to manage these heavy doubts in this scattered schedule all by yourself in isolation. That is exactly why Sam founded the Growth Collective. It's a membership community filled to the brim with moms who are doing the exact same thing you are doing, showing up in the margins, figuring it all out piece by piece, and cheering each other forward. Being part of a supportive community is basically the ultimate antidote to that loud, screaming doubt we talked about earlier. When you surround yourself with people who truly, deeply get it, those tough days become so much easier to navigate. Let's wrap up our explainer today with a question that I really want you to carry with you. What could you build with your next borrowed moment? Think about it. Knowing what you know now, that your effort is quietly compounding, that wanting to quit is just a totally normal phase of growth, and that consistent small moments are absolutely enough to change your entire life, what incredible things will you do next? Keep building. We are cheering you on so hard, and I really hope this explainer has given you the clarity and the spark of encouragement you need to tackle whatever margin of time opens up for you today. Keep going. You've got this.